It's just got to be natural.
And the other one you do, if you're shooting outside, and any photographer, you go in any royal park or anywhere you see it, if they're doing a fashion or wedding shoot, you'll always have someone with the white card or something to reflect the light into the person.
Yeah, but that's a proper production. That's not
you can do it with babies and all sorts of things.
Yeah, but that's when you've got a crew. Normally, I'm here alone with that, and I've got to cook and film, and I'm by myself. I can't be reflecting light.
The point being, make sure that you've got enough light on your subject, not on the background.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying, okay? That's the difference. Okay. Your subject matters,
right,
basically.
Certo che tuo padre c'ha un modo più professionale di affrontare le cose.
We better hire a staff. we need a sound guy, we need a lighting guy, we need somebody with a reflector.
Yeah, but
Would I get a runner?
The guy goes out with a cameraman and a presenter. He's got to do all this himself.
Well,
and he's got to say, no, we've got to shoot him. We can't shoot it. It's the presenter or the producer.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of YouTubers get accused of lying about filming, about the fact that they're filming by themselves, and people are convinced they've got a whole crew behind them, and they have to try and prove to people that, look, it's just me and my camera. I don't have a crew, and a lot of people don't believe it.
Well, you're lucky you got two cameras, because you could do whatever you want to do with you, and have the other camera shooting from a different angle at the same time.
The thing is, we did that with one video, and we used the iPhone and the DJI Osmo Pocket, and the lighting is very different. The colour match is terrible in them, and people actually complained about it.
Then you've got to get a white balance card between it, so both cameras have to shoot a white balance card. You know, wherever you are, whatever you do, I'm always holding my script up for white balance for all the cameras, and they all get the same white balance. Is that those basic, which you can do on all phones and cameras these days?
Non le facciamo queste cose. Non facciamo il bilanciamento del bianco.
Okay, right, let's start outside then.
Feels like I'm back at work again. Oh God. Right, okay. One everywhere. Here we go. Positano Diaries, take 4.
Hello everywhere.
Today we've decided we're going to show you behind the scenes how we make our videos, how we plan everything. Cos'altro?
Sì, vi faremo vedere quando usiamo il drone, quando io uso il drone.
All the equipment we use, lights, microphones, how do we do it? We've had quite a lot of people asking this, and I think I might have shown a video like this about 4 years ago, but it's changed a lot since then. The equipment has really changed, so let's get on and show you exactly how we make our videos. Okay, that's fine.
Do check that, please.
So a lot of the time when I'm filming, I'm completely alone, and I need to be able to do whatever I'm doing, whether it's cooking or painting, and film at the same time. So I use a selfie stick and I use my phone. So my phone is the main thing I used to film with. A few years ago, I used to use cameras with microphones attached to them, and I'd have to carry around spare batteries, and it was a lot of stuff to lug around, heavy and awkward. And then the iPhone got better and better, and I started relying on it more and more, up to the point where I've completely abandoned my camera, and all I use is my iPhone, and then sometimes I also use a DJI Osmo Pocket, which I will show you later. So the iPhone these days is really, really good for filming. It's incredibly steady. It regulates the lighting by itself. The only thing we add to it is a microphone and a selfie stick, as you can see.
Allora, adesso sto usando l'Osmo Pocket. Questo lo usiamo spesso quando andiamo in giro, quando siamo fuori Positano, perché ha un'extra batteria rispetto a un iPhone, che ovviamente lo usiamo anche per telefonare.
When we're in the kitchen or somewhere slightly darker, we use one of these ring lights. We got this off Amazon. It was about €100 and it is really, really handy.
Non usiamo questa lampada solo per fare video, la uso quando sto facendo qualcosa e ho bisogno di più luce, quindi è veramente utile. Poi fa tantissima luce, faccio vedere. E davvero funziona.
Now I'm going to demonstrate how useful this light is when we're filming. So this is me in the kitchen with the lights that we normally have in the house. It's quite dark in here, so we really do need that extra boost of light, which also makes me look younger. Go with the lights. There we go. Maybe not too bright because I can't see anything, but it really, really changes everything and makes everything much brighter, wrinkle-free, and everything more beautiful.
Sì, infatti sembri molto più bella così. Non è vero, sei sempre bella tu, amore.
It's a great light, yeah, really, really handy to have.
Tu comunque lo vuoi fare la cosa che io vado là, lo vado a staccare il microfono e così vediamo come va senza? Basta che lo tolgo da lì.
Sì.
Okay.
We have microphones. We don't use them all the time, but last summer, the crickets in the garden were so loud we could hardly hear ourselves talking, so we had to start using microphones, and we've tried to keep using them since. We've recently got some new ones. I always buy my microphones. I have not been sponsored by a microphone company, but these are called Hollyland, and these are their newest ones. They come in this tiny little box, which is really small and compact. These are our microphones. We're not wearing pom-poms. My brother's friend recently asked what did the pom-poms signify, but they're not pom-poms, they're microphones. So they are magnetic. To show you these microphones properly, we're going to have to take them off. So let's do that and then I can show you. Otherwise all you're going to hear is like crunch, 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 crunch. Ok, adesso vai a staccare.
Sì, adesso stacchiamo i microfoni.
And this is how we make the videos. This is really how we make the videos.
Sì, fallo mentre parli così è più chiaro.
I'm going to keep talking and Carlo's going to pull out that and hopefully you'll hear a difference in how I'm now talking without the microphone on. The microphones are magnetic, which is brilliant. So they've got this little magnet here. And when it's not windy, we can take off the wind socket or the dead cat or whatever you want to call it, the pom-pom. And this is our microphone. It's tiny. And it just has this little, quite strong magnetic thing, so you can stick it anywhere. And when you've finished, you pop it in the box, like that, which is also magnetic. This is the bit that goes into the charger of my phone. So that plugs into my phone, which is not a bother at all, it's tiny. Afterwards, I put that in there, close that. And I keep them in a little old Pucci bikini bag from when I worked in a shop that sold Pucci, and that goes with me everywhere in my handbag now.
Allora, questo è uno degli ultimi acquisti, è un selfie stick molto extra lungo. Questo è quello normale che abbiamo sempre usato. Potete vedere la differenza, è molto più grande, però c'è anche una grande differenza in altezza. Quando usiamo questo, noi possiamo...
It's much more stable, this one.
Sì, è molto più largo, vedete. Faccio vedere la differenza. Che cosa serve questo? Questo qui serve per le riprese da terra, quando ci vogliamo riprendere da lontano. Normalmente usavamo questo. Adesso vi faccio vedere questo invece dove arriva. Lo appoggio a terra e arriva alla stessa altezza, ma è 1 metro più alto. Se lo metto qua su, arriverà al soffitto, anche di più.
Yeah. So that's really handy, actually. I don't know how we've managed without that for so many years, but we've had that for a few months now. Now, this one is the one that I use all the time. I've been through about 4 or 5 of these. I normally go for about 1 a year, and I eventually end up breaking them. The great thing about these is that they have a little remote control that's Bluetooth connected. So I can sometimes set that up over there and take a photo. Or often I get asked on Instagram, how did you take that photo? And I always reply, Holly took the photo. Well, either Carlo took the photo or I took it with this. Sometimes in some of the photos, group photos, you can see that my hand is like that because I'm pressing the remote control. So that's very handy as well.
Anyway, anche questo ce l'ha il remote control. Non so come si toglie.
Well, we haven't used that one yet, have we?
Sì, eccolo qui.
Okay.
Ancora non l'abbiamo usato.
That's the main bulk of what we use for our videos. Now, of course, when we want to get a bit more extravagant, we use the drone.
Tanto da far vedere. Questi sono i vecchi microfoni, facciamo vedere così. E anche io ho un selfie stick qua dentro. Allora, queste sono più o meno le cose che uso quando porto il mio zaino con me. Allora, questo è il drone, è un DJI Mini 3. Questo drone è molto leggero, è sotto i 250 grammi. Perché il drone deve essere leggero? Almeno qui in Europa, poi non so nel resto del mondo. Un drone così non ha bisogno di una speciale licenza o altro, lo puoi solo far volare. Ti iscrivi, ovviamente devi pagare un'assicurazione che è obbligatoria e puoi iniziarlo ad usare. È un drone molto semplice, come tutte le cose richiede un po' di tempo per imparare a usarlo, non è né difficile e nemmeno facile. Ha bisogno solo di tempo per capire come funziona. La cosa più pericolosa che succede con il drone? Beh, è semplice, lo perdi, lo fai finire da qualche parte e non lo trovi più, o lo rompi. Quindi bisogna fare attenzione perché anche se non è costosissimo, comunque costa. Questo è il telecomando. Queste sono tutte le lenti che uso dipendendo dalla luce, se c'è tanta luce o c'è poca luce. Questi invece sono i microfoni, sempre della Hollyland che usavamo prima. Siccome questi qua hanno un attacco diverso per il telefono, abbiamo comprato quelli nuovi. Poi c'è un mini treppiede qui, sempre utile, un altro selfie stick che è quello vecchio di Niki e questo è un lettore di card quando devo togliere la card dal drone per trasferire nel computer.
And this is the most important accessory, the Holly Poo!
Holly Poo! Would you, baby?
Now, some people keep every single piece of video that they film and they keep them all on hard drives. I don't do that. I tend to film and then throw everything away, and all I keep is the finished video. So I have a drawer here full of hard drives and I write on them. So this one is Vlogs 2021, 22, 24, 25, Drone 24 and 25. This is a new one that Dad's brought me, and he's offloaded all of his photos and videos that he's found on his computer in England. I have no idea what's on this. I haven't had time to go through it yet, but I'm quite excited to find out. He says there's some videos there. And then I've got this old one here, which starts in about 2007. That's got all sorts of things, more photos than videos on it. But yes, I've got a load of these. And when I want to go back and take a piece of video from 2 or 3 years ago, I have to go into one of these and find it. Luckily, they're all in date order, and then I can use the piece of video. Sometimes I can't find the video. For instance, in the last vlog that went out, there was a piece where Carlo, Luca, and Nicola were trying to get a big Strelitzia plant out of a vase, and it was quite a funny scene, and I wanted to put it into the last week's video, and I have no idea which episode that is on, so I couldn't find it. I looked for it for a while, but I was wasting too much time, so I gave up. So those are my hard drives in there, and then I have a card reader, which I can take stuff from Carlo's drone. If he hasn't given it to me and put it on a hard drive, I'll just quickly take it, stick that into my computer and take the footage from there. And then, of course, the most important thing is my laptop, because without this, I wouldn't be able to edit the videos. So this is the most important thing. So I edit all my videos on this. And what software do I use to edit? I'm a bit weird. I use iMovie, which is the basic bog standard editing software that comes with all the Mac computers. I move it into Final Cut Pro and I add the subtitles, because iMovie doesn't have a subtitle feature. So I could edit the whole thing in Final Cut Pro. I don't know why I don't just go straight in and do it, but this is the way I've been doing it for years, and I just don't change. Final Cut Pro, sometimes if you accidentally press a button, weird things happen, and it scares the life out of me that I'm going to lose everything I've just done. So I do it all in iMovie because I know how that works really well, and then I move it into Final Cut Pro, put the subtitles in. Sometimes I'll put some little titles or stuff in, and I can blur things out in Final Cut Pro as well. And then I save it all. I save everything in 4K, save it onto my desktop, upload it onto YouTube, and then put the iMovie version without the subtitles is what I save onto my card, because often when I'm using bits from old videos, I don't want the subtitles because I'm just showing the footage and I don't need the subtitles. So I save the version without the subtitles on my hard drives.
Oh, this just for me, because I talking in Italian and then you need to put subtitles just for my fault.
Yes, but I think a lot of people like to hear you talking Italian because they get to practice their Italian.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, let's go outside and show how the drone works.
Adesso vi faremo vedere una scena che facciamo in movimento, e lo facciamo ovviamente con il drone. Quando qualcuno ci ha chiesto ma chi vi sta registrando mentre voi andate di là e che vi segue? Ecco, è questo che ci segue. Adesso vi facciamo vedere come.
It has a function on it called Follow Me. So you can set it up to hone in on a person, and then it will basically follow them around, avoiding trees, cables, power lines, and hopefully won't crash into anything, and it'll just follow you as you're walking along, which is really, really handy.
No, in realtà i cavi non li vede, dobbiamo stare attenti con i cavi perché sono sottili, ma le cose più grandi li vedrà.
Like a magician's assistant. So now the drone has to lock in on a person. So he's got to set it up so that it finds me and locks in on me and follows me wherever I go.
Andiamo?
Now, hopefully, the drone should be following us. How long do the microphones last for? Quanta lunghezza?
Ma penso che ce la
prendono?
fa fino a 300 metri, non
Sì?
credo, per 300 metri sono troppi, però
Ok.
il microfono deve essere rivolto verso di là però.
Ah, così non
sì.
sta funzionando.
Sì, starà funzionando, dai, camminiamo così.
We'll walk backwards, just in case. So what happens if I go this way?
Segue me.
It's locked in on you.
Segue
So
me.
change position, go somewhere else. Is it still following you? And there it is.
Attento che scende. Brava!
And that's how you catch a drone. To be very, very careful that you don't touch the propellers because they will cut your finger. So you grab it from underneath and if turning it like that turns it off immediately.
Sì, ma non è che ti taglia proprio il dito.
No, it's not going to cut your finger off, but it's still going to cut your finger.
Sì, sì, è vero.
So with 55 to 60 years of experience in the TV industry, what tips can you give us?
Well, from a photographic point of view, I suppose if you're opening a program, you need to set the scene where you are. So if you're talking about a documentary, whatever, you might show a factory or something, because you're talking about what's going on at that factory. So you get a wide shot of that and gradually getting closer to the presenter, who will then say to camera, here we are in so-and-so and so-and-so, and we're going to talk about what's going on here and why everybody's been sacked. So that is number one rule, is to set the scene where you are.
Okay.
If you're making a film, often Hollywood film, you will start with a big city or a plane landing in a city, so it sets the scene where you are.
Yeah.
So you're not. If you are the person, the newsreader talking to camera, like I'm talking to you now, do make sure that you leave a little bit of headroom above the head. If you're doing a close-up, which in general would be about that for a newsreader or a presenter on a camera, be something like this. So you see the face, maybe it's a bit wider, but do leave a little headroom. Don't cut the head off there, because a lot of TV sets are not scanning correctly and it might cut your head off completely.
And also, don't do that and leave tons of room above the head and have just a little floating head at the bottom.
Do not overdo it. That's absolutely right. And the other thing, if you're shooting people, especially ladies, do not get below the nose line or the eye line. Do not shoot under the chin. It's so unflattering.
Like that?
Like that. That is very unflattering for any lady or any person come to that. So just be slightly down. Keep the camera eye level. That is the golden rule. Eye level. Make sure there's nothing growing outside the back of the head.
You've almost got a big afro behind you, but it's below you.
Well, whatever it is, you might be in a situation with a garden post, whatever we got here, it doesn't really matter. But if Nikki was to pan around, she would show you the different backgrounds while I'm talking to you. So just move left or right, and you will see that the background changes all the time.
But
so
the lighting changes as well, so it's finding the right lighting.
So do make sure that the background behind the person is not distracting.
Yeah.
What else? Another golden rule. Let me think.
Panning fast.
Oh yes, whatever you do. A lot of people, they want to show a scene. They put the camera down. They do that. You don't do it. You don't see anything. Set the scene. Have a look at it. This is it. Do a slow pan, just a slow pan, and then stop. Let the eye rest on the scene. If you're doing something on the road and you want to show something, pan with a person walking by or a car or somebody on the bike, just to give it the natural movement as you go along. That is the way to do that. And it's not distracting, and it shows the whole scene.
Not like that.
Not like that. So look, they're very basic rules. We all make mistakes, and in the heat of the moment, you pick up the camera, you do that. But it's often not a very good result. Think about it first.
So now we've filmed all our bits of videos on my phone, Carlo's phone, the Osmo Pocket, and the drone. We need to get all of those video clips off those phones and cameras and things and get them onto my computer, and then I can start editing the video, which will take me a good few hours. This video is probably not going to have much music in it, so that will save me some time, but Carlo's talked quite a bit in Italian, so I'll need to run it through Final Cut Pro, add the subtitles, and then once it's done, I have to upload it, and our internet speed here is pretty bad, so it'll probably take about 8 hours to upload, and then it'll be ready to go out on Wednesday, which is the day after tomorrow, and you'll be watching it. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this insight into how we make our videos. We'll see you next week for some stories with Harry.